Hey, good day YouTube. Let's get started on this. Okay, we're gonna need a piece of wood that fits in your miter slot for your table saw. And by the way, this dial indicator is for your table saw to be able to align your fence perfectly. You know, no ifs and buts. It'll totally be straight, okay? So we need something that's gonna fit in your miter slot, okay? Tight enough where there's no play and whatnot. Okay, second of all, we're gonna need a little flat surface to go on top of your runner. And we're gonna need a piece of wood. This is a little piece of scrap wood I had in my bucket. This is red spruce. Doesn't matter what it is, it could be anything. Anyways, we need about a foot and a half of this stuff. And last but not least, we're going to need a little piece of dowel to be able to put this in our flat board. And a drill bit the size of our dowel. I gotta make sure my miter slot piece here is flush with the table, and it looks like I gotta lose about 1/16 of an inch, so I'm gonna cut that off right now. Perfect. Alright, next we need to glue our board on top of our slider. So once again, you can just find the middle and glue it on. Alright, once we've done this, now we just glue our board right on there. There we go. Alright, I'm going to let this dry for 10 minutes, and once this is dry we're going to continue. I'm just going to put it in my vise. This should be set enough for me to continue working on this. Once we have this, now we're just going to make a hole here for our dowel. Roughly in the center, about 2/3 up. There's nothing precise about this, okay? I mean, what's precise is going to be our needle, and that's it. And you don't need to go all the way through because you got your miter slot piece of board under there. Just so you got enough place for your dowel to stay in. This is in the track right now. It can move freely back and forth. So about 1 o'clock like this, and I'm just gonna mark it to where I need to cut it, around there. And my other piece is gonna be somewhere around here. I'm just gonna cut this real quick. I'm gonna drill a hole in these two pieces of wood so I can slip in right on top of my dowel. Got my 2 holes. I'm gonna put a little spacer in there so my bottom piece of wood doesn't drag on my. I'm gonna just put a little washer in there so my needle tends to be a little further up. And this one around 1 o'clock, like this. There we have it. We're just gonna trace this real quick, just for a mark. Like I said, this ain't no rocket science. You just put it fairly straight on your board. This leaning on your fence. You make a mark, and then we'll just glue these two together like this. My needle is dry, but before I slide it on, what I want to do is take a little bit of this paste wax. It could be oil, it could be anything lubricant. And I'm just going to take a little bit with my finger there and spread it on my dowel, so that it helps my needle turn really nice and easy. Right at the tip there, we're gonna file that into a point, so it's like a little, it's like a needle, because we need accuracy. So I'm gonna cut it to length, and I'm gonna file it to a point. Alright, so we should have something that looks like this. See, this part is against our fence, and here we have a point. Now what we're going to do is take a pen and right at the absolute tip make a line with the point. So that's your accuracy mark. First of all, you make sure your fence is locked into place. So you just look at your point very carefully by going along the fence, and you'll see right away if your fence is off. And I can tell I'm off. That's at the beginning of the fence. And just go to the other end. So my fence is off a little bit. So now what I do, I would put my point right on the line, then move my fence right against my needle. Now it's there. Now I'm gonna come back to the front by holding this, and here's the front. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the back again, double check myself. Okay, I'm gonna go to the back, and perfect. So there you have it. Now it ensures that your fence at least 128th precise, and maybe even more. It's very, very precise. So this is how you make a homemade poor man's dial indicator. Works like a charm. So alright guys, we'll catch you guys on my next video.